The biggest challenge is being the first. It's always being the first when using new tech. And I feel very fortunate, very lucky to have this opportunity to be the first director using the AKIRA platform and the AKIRA stage. So that's been amazing.
My background started in motion capture with this in DP about 4 or 5 years ago, and to see how much tracking technology has evolved and has changed has been an incredible experience.
Definitely as well on the helicopter scene, the OCELLUS technology comes really handy because the camera had to get really close to the actor, almost going into the helicopter. If we're using traditional optical tracking system, that is impossible.
We can go in there and install very easily, and it's not like before where we have to go in and sticker an environment and have 3,000 retro reflective stickers, or I have to go in there and physically mount motion capture cameras. And then as practical sets lands, it's very challenging to go in there and constantly be changing things out and be moving the volume and rearranging and stuff. So something like OCELLUS hits a direct need. It allows us for especially things like on a crane operator where we have the ability to have a tethered tracking system and have that attached to the loom and get that data back at a price point that's very good.
One of my favorite features with the Venice 2, which is the Rialto component. A lot of the sequences that we're trying to film here happen on smaller enclosed spaces like the SUV chase. We're doing a lot of stuff in the inside of the vehicle. We want to have a lot of the characters' point of views. We don't want to draw too much attention to the background. Really what you want to do is you want to be in it with the characters, and you want to feel the realism of being in that space. And the Rialto helps us get into those really tight, intimate, claustrophobic environments without sacrificing the quality of how we're shooting.
The biggest way that Crystal LED helps us in virtual production is by giving us color depth. So contrast is a challenge when you're working with LED walls. If you have lighting fixtures, they tend to wash out the wall, you get less contrast. If you have a lot of atmo going, smoke, dust, snow, all of that reduces your ability to get contrast and get clearer and more vivid colors from the wall, therefore reducing our ability to portray reality. By having greater color depth, truer blacks, and fantastic coating where we get less glare on the LED walls, we have much more creative freedom in terms of coloring and adding or removing contrast on the environments without worrying about not getting realistic and accurate colors on the camera feed.
I think our previous tools and pre-visualization plays a huge importance in the production and also how smooth everything is going to run. Having an understanding of before we even step into the volume, being able to give these tools, work through them with the DP, work through them with the director, be able to utilize lensing sessions and have everybody an understanding of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve in here leads to a successful production. The more that we can give them as far as lensing opportunities, moire detections, abilities for them to visualize before they step on set is imperative. Being able to utilize these tools as early as possible allows us to be able to be ready for it and make sure all of our tool sets, everything is functioning as expected.
AKIRA is very versatile, and I really like that the wheel rollers are not built onto the rig, so we can take those off and adjust them for different size wheelbases, or say a motorcycle, we can just only put 2 of the tire rollers into the middle and have a motorcycle on there instead of a car, or we can take them off completely and we can put a helicopter which doesn't need those tire rollers. So it's very versatile.
Having the ability to have Sony with us next to us on set and see how we're utilizing their tool sets, getting the feedback firsthand from what we're receiving, and being able to give recommendations and guidance based on what we're seeing from DPs, directors, the typical asks that happen every day in production, and then being able to develop it and then incorporate it and be able to use it, I think is very beneficial because it creates a very healthy ecosystem. It becomes development, it becomes technology, and it becomes pushing that boundary.